Okay. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome for today's session. Today's session is in continuation to yesterday's session where we're going to learn more about the prompt engineering, which is the important concept to create the agents or use the agents in the Oracle Fusion AI Agent Studio. Before I go into that, based on the feedback I received from several people, I want to clarify one quick thing. Okay, let's go there. Okay. So one feedback, really, it is maybe bothering for some people. Who is this course for? So in Oracle applications, typically we have two kinds of job roles. One is functional, one is technical. So is this course is meant for functional or technical? I want to clear that air and clarify it. This course, if you work in Oracle Fusion applications, functional or technical, this course is for them. Okay. And here is a whole ladder in this Fusion Agentic Studio, and there's no code in any of this ladder. There are three types of agents in cloud applications. One is seeded agent. Oracle gives the agent, use as it is. Just turn them on, done. You don't need any prior knowledge. Just turn it on, understand what that agent will do. Just start using it. That's it. All you need to read the documentation and start using it. That is a seeded agent. Now, there could be cases your seeded agent is meeting your needs. Still, you wanted to change a bit. Then you customize the seeded agents. What do you mean by customizing a seeded agent? You edit the prompts or upload the new documentation, right? Or new repository. Everything you are writing a simple English instructions. You're not coding anything here. Even customizing seeded agents, we don't need to have any coding knowledge. Now, third part of it, where the seeded agents, even after customizing, it won't meet your purpose. You have entirely a different business use case, which is not met by the Oracle seeded agents. We have around, at this point of a time, 240 plus agents available. If none of those agents meet your needs, create a custom agents. Still, we no need to have any coding knowledge here. Very important thing. The only skill you needed in creating a custom agents is how to read an API. That is the only skill is needed. Only reading, not writing. Okay. So most important thing, if you have a question that I need to know how to code, no, not a single line at any level of the seeded agents, using a seeded agents, customizing seeded agents and creating custom agents. Now, is custom agents are only in developer territory? No. If you can read what an API offers, you can build one. Very important thing to understand. Okay. It is a myth. I want to clarify that. And again, to help the people who never knows an API, we are preparing a 1 to 2 hour of session. Who never touch an API, who never knows anything about that, right? Don't worry. We are going to conduct a session. We just takes from what is an API and then how to use an API to build the agent. And again, don't think about API is something else. Think it's like a restaurant menu, right? You read the menu. In the menu, you see what dishes are available, and you want to order one dishes. You place an order. Once you place the order, do you cook now? In the kitchen, someone will cook. Oracle is cooking that for us. Oracle will do all the work for us. Just order what you want. Oracle will get all the information what you need it, get it, and that dish is served to you. Simple. That's all an API do. That's all the information what you need to know. We will
I
enable that.
one question here.
Mhm.
Suppose if I want to write a code, is this Fusion Studio allows me to write a code?
No, this Fusion Studio is not a coding assistant. It's coding assistant agent. No, it's not that. No, it won't allow. That's a
Okay.
separate custom solution, which we
Mm.
can talk at a separate session. It's not part of the Fusion Agent Studio. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. No problem. So yeah, I will take your questions. Make sure everyone keep noting your questions. I will take it up at the end of the session.
One last question. Sorry.
Mhm.
I'm, say you have a generally in financials you have reconciliation reports. You
Mhm.
reconcile your subledger to the general ledger. Okay.
Right.
When you run that now, can I scan the log files of that report and take and the log files will say, hey, these are the following are the errors, and I train the system to say, hey, figure out this and perform an
Yeah.
API. Will that be will that
Yep.
fall under this whatever we are
Yep.
trying to cover?
You are right. So you are
Okay.
uploading a document, and based on the findings from the document, you want to call something in the cloud application is absolutely possible. Okay. And again, no code. Whatever the use case you mentioned, no code. You will,
Uh, I didn't understand what you said.
so,
So, but what I'm trying to say is, I ran a report. A
mhm,
report ended up with some output,
mhm,
or there's a log files that system puts when you run an ESS job. A log file gets created somewhere. Okay,
mhm.
and then you're training your system to say, hey, go look at the log file, and in this specific area, look at it. If something A is seen, perform an action B. So
Okay.
is that possible?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
All
possible.
right.
So it's possible. It's three-step process. So call an ESS job API.
Mm-hmm.
It will generate a file in the UCM server.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Yeah.
the file from UCM API.
Mm-hmm.
Read the file, understand the file, find the anomalies. LLM will do that work for you. And based on the
Okay.
anomalies, you write instructions, do this action, update some
Okay.
record, create some record, change some record. It's again an API. It's absolutely possible.
So that falls under the customize
Custom
option, right?
amazing. That's right.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Yeah.
And Lakshmi,
Hold
when
on your
is this
questions.
session?
Okay.
When
Yeah.
is this APA session? 2 hour session you said?
I will have it. Okay. So anyways, we spoke about it. When I speak about, uh, yeah, when I speak about the OIC part, basically, and this is where I will be talking about the APIs, maybe workflows and OIC part. That is where I will cover that. Maybe it will be around 15th or 16th session where we will talk about that. Okay. 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 Let me complete what I was saying here. 1 second. Yep. In that session, what we will learn, you will learn what an API is in a plain language, simple how to understand from Oracle documentation, how to read that, and how we need to ask for information, and what it will return, and how to read that. Simple. Okay. And also you will understand how an agent uses an API as a tool. And we will walk through a real use case of taking a real Fusion REST APIs. Okay. So yeah, when I talk about the workflows, typically when I talk about creating a custom agent, before I take a session on creating a custom agent, I will talk about these APIs real quick so that everyone of the team here get comfortable. Okay. Just want to set the expectation. And the payoff after this session, you can build any custom agent by writing in any API without writing a single code. Okay, that is all can be guaranteed. Good. So saying that, I just want to clarify that as it's repeated questions from many people. I will go to the session 2 for today. So kind of with this by today's session, we will cover the foundations. From next session onwards, we are directly jumping into the Fusion Agent Studio, and we start talking about the Fusion Agent Studio application, security, accessing the Agent Studio, start understanding the Agent Studio tools, and start using the first seeded agent as such. So this session is kind of the foundation, continuation to what we were talking yesterday. Okay, sorry. So this session is, we have seen in the last session, we kind of learned what is LLM's prediction, like one token at a time, pattern predictions. It won't look at database. It always look for the latest question and get the answers relevant to that question. We also spoke about the tokens, and we also spoke about the parameters and parameters and how the hallucination can be avoided using the grounding rules, especially retrieval augment generation process. We have seen these examples in the previous session, and today's session is more about choosing the right model for the job and the prompt engineering, which is the core part of the session today, and how this prompt engineering is really applicable to the Agent Studio is what we're going to learn. In reality, prompt engineering is the heart of the Agentic Studio. If you know how to write the prompts accurately, your job is done. All you need to know, ask LLM to do this work for you. How do you ask it? You write a prompt. How to write a prompt? Nothing but a prompt engineering. That's it. Okay, so next one, choosing the right model for the job, which we have kind of walked through in yesterday Q&A session. We spent enough time around these agents, which agent to use what, and all the information. But I summarize that one as well. So number one, whenever you wanted to do a use case, then we need to understand what is the task you are trying to do, what is the task requirement, and what is the task complexity. Does speed matters for you, and cost matters for you, and your organization governance matters to you. Based on this, you look at, okay, I want something which is fast, high volume, but simple. Maybe you can go Llama Scout LLM. Or I want something got heavy RAG based, uploading the documentation, or more than that, then generating the documentation, or creating the agents, or using multiple agents in your task. Then maybe Cohere Command A is useful. Or your organization has its own LLM, they can bring their own LLM basically. So it's all depends upon your use case, which model you have to opt for. Coming to Oracle, the basic one, GPT OSS, which is free. Whenever you create in any agent, this GPT one is free out of cost, out of the box, and you can use it by default. And the purpose of this is every day agentic reason, a text generation, and the cost efficient choice for most of the agents because it is free. And if you want to go to premium LLMs, we have GPT 4.1 mini, G.5 mini, which is outside of the OCI in OpenAI. And it is JDR, means zero data retention protected. So assurance is that they never store any of our data whenever we send to the LLM. And it will be used when the task complexity is genuinely needs a stronger reasoning and worth the cost, and don't want to use the default one, you can go for premium LLMs, and the cost of that is 5 cents per the action, or 5 AI units per the action. And by your own LLM, if for any reason your organization mandates based on the governance, or your organization based on the three criteria, you want some other LLM, absolutely you can get that, and you can configure it within the Fusion application, and where again it costs 3 times the free. I mean, it's 3 cents per transaction, basically. Again, it's based on the need. We keep using our LLMs, and we keep doing the work, you will understand what LLM to be used at what time. So, yeah, I know there's a question. Keep hold of a question. I will open up. The session will end quickly today, 30 minutes, and then we'll open up for the Q&A. Okay. The next important one is the prompt engineering. So it is I would say, the 4 levers to open the LLM accurately. If you wanted to use if you wanted to, I would say, best use of the LLMs in our applications and in our use cases, these 4 levers are mandatory to use with clear understanding. Okay, and I wanted to map these levers to the Agentic Studio and how we use that and how terminology of each one of these map to the Fusion AI Agent Studio. Okay, so role and context. Whenever we talk to LLM, tell it who it is and what situation it is in. Example, you are a HR communication specialist. Tell to LLM, hey, think like that. That is your role. That role is very important. And context. What is a context? We spoke about that in the previous sessions. Context could be any reference material to refer, so we won't hallucinate, and ground the rules and respond accordingly. Or your previous conversation history, right? So the context. So role and context is important so that the LLM behavior will be defined. Next thing, instructions. Say exactly what you want done. So just won't give the vague statements. Very clearly, very clearly, as much clear as possible. Ask for the instruction. Write an announcement, update or update a leave policy. I would elaborate further, right, if needed. So write a clear instructions. I will demonstrate this real quick. Now, once you have a role and a context, once you give the instructions, that is when LLM will do its work, right? And while LLM gets the data, make sure apply some constraints. Make sure the length is under 100 words. Format the data. Give me the data in the CSV format, or bring me the data in the JSON format. And the tone, make sure you are so respectful while providing the information. Or make sure you're so authoritative while providing the information. Shape the answer how you want the answer should be. Apply the constraints, else it will give in its own way. Last important thing, help LLM. If you have some past examples, or if you have some examples where how you wanted the data to generate based on this input, this is the input, I want the data should be in this output format, or not only format, for this kind of question answer should be like this, for this kind of a question answer should be like this. If you have the history of that information, feed the information, provide some examples, right? So maybe should paste one similar past announcement as a style guide. If there is announcement for the leave policy in the past which was happened, then copy that, to paste the content as an example, so LLM can understand that, oh, okay, I should give the output in this format. If you follow these 4 levels accurately, definitely LLM accuracy can be achieved beyond 90%. Okay, let's do one example exercise. Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry to bother you because I'm getting few questions. I mean, it's difficult to remember at the end. I have a quick question on the role. If you go to the previous screen, please.
Yeah.
The role. So when I log in through the Fusion, it already knows my role, right? I mean,
Okay. So one thing to clarify, it is not a RBAC, role-based access security role. That it is not that role. What I mean by other way, that I could say persona of the agent. No? So this role is not the Fusion role, just to clarify that, So this role is basically whenever you talk to LLM, define a persona for the LLM. Hey, LLM, think like this. Think like a finance analyst. Think like a HR analyst. That is the persona we have to tell to the LLM. Okay, and that won't be derived from your login user role like that.
Oh, great. Thank you. That clarifies.
Yeah, I have one more question. You are saying prompt engineering, right?
Hmm.
When I go to ChatGPT, I am a layman. I ask any question, right?
Mhm.
So, what is this prompt engineering means? Like,
Yeah,
I
correct.
go to ChatGPT, I ask,
Correct.
some question.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
that
going to
is
do
the
now.
prompt I give. So I don't understand what is this
Yeah,
prompt.
let me demonstrate that. That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so let us say that I have a prompt. What I mean, prompt nothing but a question, think like that. Okay, basically, why we are using LLMs and ChatGPT, whatever I said, you want answers, I want a solutions for your problems. Problem is a question. Ask the question to LLM so LLM can answer you or solve the problem for you. That question is what I say prompt. Okay, tell to LLM what you want basically. Okay, I'll demonstrate one example. Maybe it will be helpful to you. So
I understand that, but when I design my agent, do I have to give prompt like
correct.
I don't yeah.
I will demo
I
that one
think
as well. Okay?
I think you are going to demonstrate it, right?
I will
You
demonstrate
can
that.
hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to demonstrate, I will demonstrate again. I will take a plain or chart GPT and demonstrate that. And I will complete the 4 levels part of it. And I will show how it show up in the Fusion Agent Studio and how I will take one seeded agent there and I will show you how the prompts are defined by Oracle so that you understand how the agents are using the prompts and behaving. So you will see that very soon. Okay, I just copy. So what I will do, simple prompt. I'm just saying same exercise what we kind of had done yesterday, but yesterday we have done more of the context and grounding rules. Now we will learning more about the prompting techniques. Okay. So let me go to ChatGPT. Okay. I will create a new chart window here. Now what I will do, I will just say that write something about our leave policy. I just said that. So it won't stop. It will hallucinate and it will tell you update to our leave policy. We are pleased to share an update to our leave policy designed to better support blah blah blah. It mentioned that. Right? So now when an email is written, who wrote this email? HR team. It took that, it is HR team writing that email. Now, if I set a persona, if I define a role to this and tell that, hey, it is your role and write something about our leave policy. If I create the persona, then how it behaves. No? So next step here, what I will do, I will create a role. I will tell that, I will just keep this line item, your HR communication specialist. I'll say that you are HR communication specialist. And yeah, I'll just say that, yeah, about our leave policy. I will just say that. When I say that, now you give a persona, you give a role to the LLM saying that behave like HR communication specialist. ChatGPT is intelligent enough. It's saying that, hey, I can see 2 different kinds of persona, 2 different kinds of communication that HR communication analyst can possibly do. Right? HR communication specialist can communicate like this or communicate like this. Which is your preferred response? Some LLMs might just give one response. OpenAI added additional. There is a process for this to get this kind of responses. We'll talk about this later. But I can choose what response you want. Maybe I will say, okay, I want this response. Example. Okay. So again, it said that as a HR communication specialist, maybe it said that, hey, designed to support employee well-being, insurance business continuity, and the low tone of the output got changed because we mentioned you're not a general HR team, be like a HR communication specialist. Get changed. Now I will add further. I will add some constraints. Hey, keep it under 100 words, but a professional tone, format as an email. Example. I think by default it kept as email. I'll keep a same statement first. You are HR communication specialist. Write something about our leave policy, and I will add that line item saying that it should be in under 100 words, warm but professional tone, format as an email. So what we are doing, we go a persona and we give an instruction what to do. Now we are applying some constraints. What are the constraints we are applying? Hey, it should be under 100 words, warm but professional tone, formatted as an email. We are saying that, right? Now what happens? It will further refine the output below 100 within 100 words, and it will be more professional and communicate better. Now, the last one, the examples. If you have any examples in the past, if you have done some past announcements, or you typically like to write email communication in some manner, I wrote some examples below. Maybe I gave some examples. If modern or well focused, it is a format, or direct and concise, it is a format for ideal for European and direct cultures. Or if you warm and relation, I mean, it's my notes basically. But over the years, I have been working more than 15 years. I was communicating to many people, many ways. My style is uh, 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 maybe I will be very clear on bold letters, more PTO, wellness days, and paid maternity leave. Or if that is my way of communication, maybe I will say that, okay, it is an example. So what I will do, I will, sorry, I'll copy the same text here, and additionally, I will tell that, um, yeah, match this style. I'll give a style. Match this style. I'll say that match this style. What is the style? I will just give an example. No. What is the example? Maybe I will say that this style, maybe, subject.
Okay, what is the difference between persona and prompt engineering?
So, okay. So basically, as I said, prompt means ask a question to LLM, so it will give the
Yeah,
answer.
that is end user will ask a question, right? Do I need to define when I create my agent about the prompt engineering or something?
You no need to. If you don't create the prompt, nothing but clear instructions to prompt on what answer you want and what format of data you want, how you want
That
LLM to
is
think. Yeah,
that
right.
is a persona, right?
Correct. Persona is a part of a prompt engineering. When you say prompt is equal to persona or role plus
Mm.
context plus instructions plus constraints plus examples. It's all together
Okay,
called a prompt engineering, basically.
okay, I understand now. Okay.
Yeah. So now what I have done here, I set the same example. Now I want to match the style to my sample way how I typically communicate. Then what happens? LLM will try to communicate in that specific format. More flexibility, wellness support, improved benefits. So end of the day, whenever we're providing a solutions, we have to look at customer point of view. What is the customer persona? How customer wanted to see the data? How customer wanted to format the data? And we understand their personas, their way of thought processing, and build our prompts accordingly. So important part, what I said here, understand, oh, this is not that. Let me close this one. Yeah. Understanding that, role and context, instructions, constraints, and example will land you into the right way of communicating to the LLM. And I will share this PPT with you. Just try to play around with your own prompt and how it is changed. Keep noting it down here. And you can understand how the LLMs behave based on your typical use cases. Okay. Now, let me connect it with the, sorry. Let me connect it with, before connecting with LLM, see that the same model, it gives different output based on the different communication what you have provided. And each level compounds, right? Whenever you go for role plus context plus constraints plus example, this will give the best prompts basically. This exactly you'll write in the Agent Studio. And Agent also has those prompting techniques. We write instructions, topics, system prompts, summarization prompts. It's all together will help you on creating that. So let me see. So this will open. Let me open
So
the.
sorry. So Lakshmi, so you said like that agent will provide all those things, right? I mean, so it has a predefined structure, so where we can use this
Yeah,
summarization, all
correct.
this prompt engineering for levers you have mentioned, right?
Correct.
So agent will be already having that one.
It has that. It has a structure
Yeah.
already, which is what we're going
Okay.
to sneak peek into the Oracle agent now. I'm going to show you one agent. Okay.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
But the prompt is something end user will write, right? We cannot
Correct.
control that, right?
End user means there are two things basically. Okay, I think I understanding your concern. Okay, give me 5 minutes. I will answer all your questions. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me jump into the application first, and then I will talk what you're saying. Okay. Okay. So let me go to Agent Teams. Okay. How do you access to the Agent Navigator? Sorry, Agent Studio. Go to Home. Go to Tools. Go to the Agent Studio. Okay. And Agent Studio, you can. So what we do, we will open up agent, existing agent, which we have playing around yesterday. I will take one. I will take the same worker agent, where every employee will access this one.
Just one question. Does everybody have access to this, or is this all by control, like what you're saying, because you're super user?
Yeah, this one will be a super user. There is a specific AI agentic administrator role. That role will give access to the screen actually.
So we will all get that role, right?
You
In
will
our
get
access.
that. You will get that. Yep. Every one of
Okay.
you will get that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm into this agent. Again, this one as I was showing in my first demo, where there's a master agent and a child agent. Again, we'll talk about these master child agents in our future sessions, but I'm just telling you. This master agent will tell you what child agents to use at what point of a time. Okay. Now, take one agent, every agent will have that. If you go here, every agent will have a persona and role. It will clearly tell you a placeholder, what is your persona and what is your role in this process. Now, as a compensation analyst, your role is to assist employee with the data-driven insights regarding their compensation. You respond to questions about your base salary, stock grants, and variable compensation. It is your persona and role. First one, I mentioned about the role. Second thing, instructions. It is the place where you write the instructions. If you see your instructions here, responsibilities. Your responsibility include user identification and today's date. Identify the employee making this inquiry. If an employee calling you, identify that person and also retrieve today's date. That is the instruction to identify how to identify user, how to identify a date. Current salary, fetch the employee current base salary. Salary history, retrieve the employee salary changes post or future schedule. How to get the variable compensation. We are giving the instructions for each one. For the stocks, how to get that. Total compensation, how to get that. Compensation, again, not how to, what information you have to get. It is all the instructions basically. And for each instruction, user identification and today's date. Again, we'll go through this in detail as anyways we're talking about prompts. I'm just going through this. Okay. At the beginning of a conversation, at very beginning of a conversation, retrieve the user's identification and assignment details. This step should only be performed once and reused throughout the conversation. Don't get it again and again. If you get once, reuse that instruction. Now, how do you get the user identification? Use the get user session tool. What is the tool? That is the API where you get the get user session, which will tell you retrieve the employee person number and the server time. And how do you get the retriever today's date? Convert the server time to the YYY That will give you the today's date. Determine the person ID. How do you get the person ID? There is some method called get worker by person number, which will tell you the, if you give the person number, it will get the person ID. Get the worker assignment. How do you get it? We have this method called get worker assignment. Call this tool by passing a person ID. You get all the assignment data. If multiple assignments are found, ask the employee to specify which assignment they are inquiring for. If person is doing multiple jobs, for which job you're looking for a salary, ask for that. And record the selected assignment ID and perform these steps. We are giving a line by line instructions. Previously used to code these things in whatever language we choose. Now we got this. Now how to interpret the data means what are the constraints, right? So use the instructions in, there is something called a variable, a topic. Topic is where it could be a document. Refer this document for the basic date rules. I wrote a document. Why I wrote a document? Because I want to reuse this document across all my agents. That's why I will tell you how to create in all this. Don't worry about that. Just write on, it's a document. Refer this document to know the basic date rules and converting our natural language timeframes into specific date ranges means this year. When I say last 3 months, what is that? If you want to specify it explicitly, you can do that. Okay. So, and how to handle specific queries. If for any reason, if you want tell that, example, to answer any query on either additional compensation or recurring one-time payments, refer to the variable compensation section. Where is the section? Here it is the section. How to handle the variable compensation rules, you can define that again. If you won't define that, it will behave hallucinate it. If you wanted to very clearly define the rules, then it will exactly follow the instructions and do the work for you. How to get the stocks? Use this method. It will get the data and read the data and present to the user. How to get the total compensation? No? And there are some important guidelines. Before acting, consider a goal. What is the goal? What info is missing? Which single tool is the best next to use? Avoid redundant tool calls. Again, we won't be doing this much of labeling details as we are showing the Oracle prompt of the seeded agent. It is very much detailed so that doing a mistake is very minimal. That's why if you give as many instructions as possible, it will behave very accurately. So if you map it to that, number one, we have defined the persona and role. Number two, we wrote instructions. Within instructions, we wrote some constraints too, important guidelines and other constraints. And finally, there is one more thing called summarization prompt. Here we are disabled it. We are not summarizing summarizing nothing but how you want the output. So you have seen the formatting, right? Write politely or give the data in the specific format. We can write here. If we disable here means master might have that. If you go to master might have the summarization prompt here. It will tell you how you want the data to be summarized, presented. Example, guardrails. Never include IDs. Okay, and do not mention our features such as email, printable reports, file downloads. Don't do that. If user asks about unsupported features, respond that I am only able to display information on screen. Exporting or downloading files not available. You can write all these instructions in the summarization prompt, which will tell you how you want it to present the data, right? So Oracle has given a framework to write those information, which is exactly where all our important instructions will go, which will define our agent output behavior. Okay, that is the important part. If we go back to what I was saying here, role and context matches to the persona and the role basically. Instructions is where when I say tool, what tool to call, what document to refer, and how to talk to the LLM will go into this layer. Constraints, we have seen constraints layer. Example, output shape will go to summarization prompt. So these four levels will go into these four areas, which is exactly we have to master to talk to LLM and get the output accurately.
Is constraints is like a gorillas or something like that?
Guardrails, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Correct.
Lakshmi, like so here, like whatever we discussed with a seeded agent, so
Mhm.
it's kind of a mixed up levers, right, in different places. Because when
Correct.
we
Correct.
see the instructions, like it says, like
Yeah.
use this tool for this kind of things. Okay, that is fine, but in that itself, it mentions some constraints. And
Come.
when you look into the summarization part, there also we are providing
Correct.
the constraints.
Correct.
So,
Correct. Correct.
so is it a mixed up of things or like?
You are right. You are right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Raj. Mix that because constraints can be applied to my instructions while asking agent to get the data. I can add my instructions. Maybe I will tell that hey, while querying the data, don't query SSN data. Example, I can tell that in the instruction itself. I can write some constraints. And while fetching the data also, I can write some constraints. Yeah, constraints will be overlaid.
The constraints at the supervisor level, right? On the supervisor agent, right? That's a supervisor agent in your file master, right?
Yes, I didn't get the question, but
No. So the constraints master level, right? The guardrail which you are there. So uh, does that always need to be there, or like, or why is it at that master
oh,
level?
okay.
Is it because
I
there
see,
are
I see.
multiple child?
Correct, correct. Because all the child should retrieve the data in a similar format.
Same format. Okay.
That's why we are defining here. We can define it here. Child isn't level 2, but to make the uniformity across the childs, I
Across
have
all the
defined.
childs.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I have one question here. So we see a lot of, like, say, this is the HR use case. I'm sure in the finance use case also there will be a lot of get functions, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, is there a catalog of all those by module and area?
Yes,
That's
we
part
have that.
one.
Correct.
Second, I see a lot of variables being called, right? So when we say this particular agent writing can be more of a techno-functional, like in my background, like the functional consultant always, like, for example, a lot of Indians are different, right? Because we have this technical engineering background, but
Correct.
somebody who is a pure end user or pure functional guy who does not have technical background, can they also write, or are these
They can. They
given in
can.
documentation that we
Yeah.
can use?
Yeah, that is what my plan is because yes, they have never seen it technically.
Correct.
They have always in a mindset that it's not for me, right? So we will
Correct.
break that because as I said, no code. As long as you won't write code, all you need to understand that get method. Understand what the get method take is input, what is the output.
Yeah. Yeah, because but it's still a programmatic, logical approach of writing a sequence of steps, right? Which is similar to programming. What we have, it's even in.
Yeah. Yeah, it is configurable. Not, yeah, you are right. It's a configurable, similar to the programming, but we are not writing a code. We are all doing drag and
Understand.
drop kind of or like that. So that is the goal. We typically wanted that functional people to use that. We will definitely make it happen. That's our goal, and we will define use cases like that.
Got it.
So
Thank you.
in persona, we have to write algorithm. What we need to do.
No. So person is all about English instruction, right? Here it is a simple English instruction saying
Which is
that
the algorithm, right? Like do this, do that,
No,
like that.
in the prompt, inside the
the
prompt,
prompt.
you have to be
Yeah.
specific as much as possible, which is kind of how it is written. It looks like a
I
program.
I understood the prompt is something end user will type, but here we
Oh,
have
yeah.
to do.
Okay. Let me clarify that. Okay. So now what happens? You provide all these prompts. Okay. Now we will train LLM to behave like this. Okay. Now forget about that. Now what I will do, I will log in as some user. Okay. Some employee. And typically whatever agent you have here, they won't run the agent from here. This all they will have the example something like this, ask oracle like this, ask worker agent like this. So I will tell you how to configure this. If they click the button, worker agent will come up automatically. I will show you the configuration when I talk about the details. Then what they will do, end user will just see the screen only. Okay, not this screen. They will just see this screen. Let me open that screen. Let me play it. They will see the screen. It is the end user screen. Okay. Whatever end user type here. Example, I logged in as a Curtis Fiati. Okay, I am an employee. This agent is exposed to me, and I will go to the agent. Okay, let me run the agent. Okay, now your whatever the summarization prompts or system prompts, persona, it's all there within this context. We are not writing anything here. As a end user, I will say that, hey, can you tell me my current salary? I'll just ask this. It is the end user behavior. End user is only saying this.
So
Internally,
this
what
is the prompt, right? Okay.
this is the end user prompt. You can say that. Correct. It is an end user prompt. But we are implementation consultants. We need to help the end user to get the right information in the right format. Correct.
Okay.
As an implementation consultant, while building the agent, we define the behavior to that agent. Hey, you should behave like
So
that.
that is called prompt engineering.
For implementation consultants, that prompt engineering is important to build the agents.
Okay.
Okay. Now what it did?
Can you repeat the last statement?
Yeah, last statement is whatever the agents I spoke about before, whatever the prompts I was talking about in the previous screen, going to the master agent or child agent and all that, who will do that work? As an implementation consultant, while building the agent for the customer, we do that work. We will work with the customer, understand what is the persona of this agent and how this agent behaves by writing the instructions and how the output should come by writing summarization prompt. We do all the creation at only once while creating the agent. Once it is
Okay.
created and saved, anyone runs like this. So this employee runs like this. Show me a salary. Then what happens internally? It will have all the behavior. It will can behave that say whatever the instructions we have given, all the instructions will be taken to LLM internally. Data interpretation rules, all this information will go to LLM, and LLM take that information on top of it. It applies this question and based on the question, it will get the right response basically. Okay. So yeah, there are two prompts. Other way, basically one end user and other one is being implementation, what prompts to be applied to the agent while creating it.
Now in the ask Oracle line, if I say in one of the constraint we say don't use person ID, right?
Hmm.
So if I say what is the current salary of the person ID, so will it close this session?
Okay, let us say that again, it is where the data security role comes into picture. Let us say, can you get the salary of Robert Jackman? Someone else, no?
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you write the instruction, I don't know if you have written the instructions to don't show the other
I
salary.
think something was person ID. Don't use person ID. So if you need to
Yeah,
know the
don't
person
get the
ID, then
person ID. Don't get the person ID in the output is the instruction, basically. So yeah, first thing it's saying that I'm not able to provide the information for your own profile. So it's saying this. Okay, now your question is, get my salary along with my person ID example. Right? That's we mentioned in your
yeah.
instructions that don't get the person IDs in the output is what we told to LLM. If LLM behaves properly, it cannot bring the person ID back in the output. And again, I will tell you all this thing, what is happening inside, what calls are happening. I'll walk through all that when I talk about the tools and all that. Don't worry about all these logs. We will be having deep sessions into that. So yeah, it didn't give the person ID. At the same time, it is not telling that I cannot get the person ID. It means we have to tweak the prompt saying that respond back that we cannot provide the IDs as part of this agent. We have to tweak the prompt, and if you write the message, then LLM will send the message back to us, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lakshman, I believe it's actually respecting the user profile. So if the user is a supervisor and if he is authorized to view someone else person's, then only I believe it's going to show.
Yeah, basically we have a guardrail in this. Anyone using this agent, they should only get the worker data. Basically, for the line manager, we have another agent is there basically where they can see the uh, information of people under them. So similar to the worker, we have something called manager. And again, that doesn't necessarily that it cannot give it. We can always change that to get as per the thing. But yeah, here we have the something for the manager. Yeah, manager concrete. See that it acts as the single point of entry for managers seeking assistance for the employees under them.
I mean, we can get that if we have a perfect, I mean, the proper role, correct? Proper security role.
First of all, anything example, yeah, manager assumption that manager has a line manager security role assigned by default, which you give access. So, example, if the person doesn't have a line manager role but still running the manager concrete, they cannot. I'm thinking like this: I'm a line manager. I have the people assigned to me, but I don't have the role-based access control line manager assigned to my security console. Example, I'm just telling that. Now, if I go and run the agent, because I have people under me, it doesn't mean that I have access. How my access can be defined based on the Fusion role-based access control. So if that is not there, even if you run here, you won't get any data. The super layer is always that role-based access control that will work at the top. Within that limited, within that guidelines, if you work for the worker or main any other agent, the data access will be there based on that. You know. So what we are doing here in this, we are specifically calling out show only your employee, show only the data of the employee who logged in, or show only the people who are reporting to you. You are writing it explicitly, but the master is always the Fusion data access security policies. Okay.
And Lakshmi, in my company, we have a latest Fusion we are using. I see only some few AI agents. Is there any configuration we have to do to see all the agents?
Yeah, there is a configuration to show all the agents for you. Yeah, we'll walk through that in the security.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Let me have one question.
Yeah.
See, the prompt what end user gives is a user prompt, right?
Correct.
And the instructions what you're shown, right? The instructions
Mm.
summarize everything.
Right.
Is that form? Those are the system prompt to agent, is it? One is a user prompt, other is a
Correct.
system prompt
Other
to agent,
system
is it?
prompts, you can say that. Yes, correct. One is user prompts, other one is system prompts. System prompts
Okay,
is nothing but
so
person. Yeah. Continue.
yeah.
Continue, Kiran. Hello.
Lakshmi,
Yeah.
so
Go ahead
this
with the.
AI agent, so also we should have VP Studio access, or what is the significance of VP Studio?
Okay. So, okay. So basically, we don't need to have the VBC. If we talk about OIC VBCS, we don't need it. But all our Fusion pages are Redwood pages now, right? So I got the agent created. Now my ask is, hey, you have worker agent created, well and good. Do one thing. Every employee has a me screen here. Let us say if employee go to personal information screen, I'm just throwing an example. Okay. Go to personal information screen. Keep an agent here. Keep a bar here. Ask Oracle. Keep a bar here. Ask Oracle for any questions. Example, right? Then we have to customize this Redwood page, right? VBS. You have to customize the Redwood page and then embed that agent here. That's the only thing. There's agent and VBS linked together in the Fusion applications. That's where only for the VBS page customizations is where we do that and link that agent here. That's the only place we use it. Okay. And there's no relation to the OIC VBCS or anything like that. Hope it answers your question.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Lakshmi.
Yeah.
So Lakshmi,
Where is
Lakshmi,
that? Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. See, actually, you said like this Redwood pages, right? So even in our instances, they are upgrading to Redwood, and basically when we discuss in our initial demo session, you have mentioned like every release they have launched. Multiple agents like seeded agents they have included. So
Correct.
I see like when upgradation or when the patch happens, like we get a mail like 24C, 25C, something like that. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
so from which so we will have that AI agent tool, but they have restricted for our role, or we need to subscribe for this AI agent in the
No.
Fusion
It's
SaaS.
there. It is there. Maybe you don't have the right role to access those agents, basically. It
Okay,
is there.
okay,
You don't need to subscribe it separately. It will come by default.
by default. Okay, okay.
Correct.
Thanks. Because
Well,
I can ask like because from purchasing side they are doing something in the something related to AI. Okay, they are summarizing some output or many things they are doing it. So maybe I can request or I can ask them to add that.
got it.
Useful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Welcome. I think when we talk about security roles, you will definitely understand it better. Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
move from
Go
this
ahead.
side. My question was regarding that API list and those parameters, right? Is there a documentation from Oracle around that? The centralized place where you can go and
Yeah, Sandeep,
check
your voice
accuracy,
is
right?
breaking a bit. If you won't mind, can
Oh,
you be more?
okay. No, what I was trying to say is the documentation that you were showing around the API, the get calls, right? And also the
Correct.
parameters associated.
Correct.
Is
Correct.
that something that Oracle has
Correct.
in a centralized place that you could share with us?
Yes. I can. Okay, you want the API documentation for the suppliers where you can
No,
see
I know
that.
that there is a API documentation overall, right? But again, this is very specific to agents and module, right? Like say, if I'm doing procurement or finance and there are specific agents for
Hmm.
procurement finance, and
Hmm.
then those seeded agents are using all these get calls, right? Which one of these does what, right?
I
Um,
see. You are saying which agent is calling which APIs or which.
which APIs, and if I'm building a custom agent for procurement, this is kind of my my
Got it.
my list of. I don't think there is anything like that. I know that there is a list of all API calls, right? Like even that is good enough, but basically, like, where do you go, right? Where do you go? Where has Oracle published this in some documentation saying by module, these are the calls or
Got it.
functions, right? Yeah, that's what. As well as the variables, right? Like you mentioned that maybe you're going to cover it in a later meeting, I'm assuming, but something
Yeah.
like that would be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get that for you. Actually, frankly speaking, I didn't collected the data. I'll get the data for you in our sessions.
Sure. Sure. The other aspect, I don't know whether Ravi is here, but if we can have like a WhatsApp group or something, right, um, of all our people who have enrolled, right, that would be good. Like previously, I had taken other courses with
Yeah,
Rainbow Institute, and we used to have that way we can communicate also offline.
I will take this question to Ravi. Yeah, and get
Yeah,
back to you.
yeah. I think he has done on previous occasions. Yeah, thank you. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Lakshmi,
Lakshmi, you
when it comes to agents, you have basic and premium and the other one, right?
By your own,
So
get your own. Yeah.
yeah, so is there a mixed one? Like, see, because every time you might not need a premium one, which can even a basic can cater few
Got it.
calls.
Hmm.
So is there a mixed case? Like
Yeah.
either it
So
can go to basic or it can go
got
to
it.
premium.
Got it. I mean, if I'm you, I will do two things. Maybe I will uh, um, I can have two agents basically, same work. One will be with the basic LLM and one will be with the premium LLM. And I will expose the basic LLM where we do the frequent work. Like example, I expose that basic LLM to a Redwood page where we will frequently use that for our basic reasoning questions. And the premium LLM or the other LLMs, which should be limited to the limited people. And I will expose that LLM to the limited people screen or restrict by role. Only these role people can run this agent so that you can use it by limitedly. So I would have done like that. That's one way of doing it. And other way of doing it, maybe for first 6 months you want to go with a premium, and after 6 months you want to make it a basic. The first 6 months I will continue to have it as a premium LLM, and after 6 months I'll modify the agent to use the basic LLM. So I can do either of these two options.
Okay, so only Redwood supports these agents, right? Classic will not support.
No, yeah, we cannot embed into the classic ones. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Lakshmi, what
Lakshmi,
is
you said
market space in Agentic AI
Yeah.
Studio?
So assume that as part of our session, we built some very good custom agent, and we all together felt that this agent is definitely useful for other customers. Then we have something called Oracle Marketplace. I will publish my agent there. And if Oracle also likes that agent, then they will also publicize that as a marketplace agent to every other customer. And if customer likes it, they can subscribe to that. That's again, it has a license for that. So that's how it works, basically.
Lakshmi, you said we are going to embed AI agent in the Redwood pages using VBS. So are we going to cover that as well in this
Oh yeah,
course?
absolutely. Absolutely. We have to cover that. Yep.
Okay, and one more thing, you always mention API calls. You mean that SOAP operations and REST API methods?
Yeah, it's majorly REST API, REST API, and SOAP also we're going to cover one for one use case. Yeah, primarily the REST API methods.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lakshmi, in one of the Oracle demo, they showed us any OS integration can be configured as a tool and
Yeah,
UOP
we
from
have that.
Fusion.
Yeah, we have that.
We have that. Okay.
We have that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lakshmi, do we have any seeded prompts are available in three LLMs? Let's say, see,
Yeah.
you are creating the prompt like questions, right? So, any seeded prompts are available?
Yeah, I mean, if you go to any seeded agent, you will have the prompt there by default. You can copy from there, basically. So as of now, Oracle has given the prompts for the seeded agents. That is a reference. If you're asking, is there any separate library of prompts what Oracle is managing? As far as I know, no, they're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
let's say in payables we have invoices and payments, right? So can we get any seeded prompts?
So we have the payable agents where if I am you, I will go to the seeded payable agents and I will copy the prompts from there. That will exactly tell you how the payable agents will behave. I will have it as a reference and I will modify that as per my requirement.
Can you show us that, Lakshmi, that how to navigate and get those prompts? What you're referring to?
Same thing. So go first. Go to tools again. Go to AI Agent Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Why the system is slow today. Yeah. I think to respect others, make sure you raise the hand so that I can take the questions in the order of the hand raises.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still opening up. Yeah. So example, opened up, say payable. So say something called example. Take something pay. Okay, maybe take this one. Isn't responsible asking questions about access and transaction risk example, right? So what we can do, we can use this template. Okay, and here if you go down here, not here. Sorry, one thing. Copy template and then copy to RB, continue. And here you have the agent and here you can go to the details and you can see the prompt and description of that basically. Go to the agent. Example, this agent is responsible for answering queries about access and
So this is
transaction.
that prompt you're saying, the whatever the description it is there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not the description. Sorry, it is a prompt. It is a persona and it is a prompt basically.
So what I'm trying to expecting, do we have like a one short words like, okay, let's say if I give forward slash invoice or like that.
Okay. When I say forward slash invoice, what is your expectation when you say
No,
that?
expectation means suppose if the customer is looking for the invoices for the suppliers XYZ within a month,
Hmm.
the customer
Hmm.
wants to know the total invoices of the supplier XYZ
Got
more
it.
than the 100K invoices or
Got it.
crude invoices.
Right. So basically, example, I want to do the invoices of the X supplier, example, right? Or
Right.
Y supplier, right? So that is where basically that is called input variables. So maybe I can have my process like that. First, the question could be user will ask that, hey, can you get the invoices of the supplier? I will throw the supplier as a parameter example. Then I will have my prompt written that in my prompt. Okay, where is the example? Okay, I'll have one example which I was last time I was showing the worker one where let me go there.
So instead of running the report, so if you give the one
Yeah.
shot prompt, right, then we can get the data.
Yeah. So here, if you see something called like, see that it's an input variable. So I can write a prompt saying that, hey, my supplier is this input. Input comes from the user, or it could be the from another tool. I will talk about that, how we can do that. So we can give the input variable. We can tell that for this supplier, for this input variable supplier ID, get the invoices. To get the invoices, use the get invoice method. If I give the instructions, that's it. It will get for that supplier ID, it will go and call the specific method and get the invoice information. And you can write instructions that whenever you get the invoices, maybe consolidate them into a tabular format or something like that, you can get it. But one constraint there, there's a limitation on the number of volume of data you get it from the LLM. Example, you have 100,000 records. So you're expecting 100,000 records to show up on your screen. That's not an ideal use case, basically, right?
Yeah.
Typically, that use case, go to the report. Report is a good use case for that. Maybe you can run the report, ask agent to run the report and place it in some application. That is possible. But you are getting the data in your chart conversation is not right, basically. But you can do that as long as maybe summarize it by something and give it like top 100 rows or 200 rows. Maybe that's a good way of doing it.
So can I write a BIP report which
Mm,
lists all the supplier invoice for the
mm,
given parameter
mm.
and give that as a input to the agent and
Correct.
see what is the maximum
You can do that.
supplier amount? We can do that, right?
You can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now a question, let's see that. Okay, I have the Sanjay has a question. Right, raise a hand. Sanjay, you want to go?
Yeah, hi. Yes. So you gave a very nice presentation. Do you think how do you share this PowerPoint and everything?
Yeah.
What you have?
So Ravi is going to, yeah, I was talking to Ravi just before this session. We're going to share all this present. I think whoever has done the registrations, I think he'll be sending the bulk email to everyone with all the documents, what I have shown and the recordings too. Okay.
So we will get a video recording.
Recording too, yes. You get recording and as well as the material.
Okay, thank you. Because sometimes when we attend interviews, we need to watch
Yes.
more than one time.
Yeah. But yeah, if we keep doing the exercises in our sessions, I think you'll be get used to it. So no worry. Okay, next Olu. Hey Olu, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay.
I just wonder what is the integration point between the Fusion application and the AI agents, and as well, as external applications, just like something like the GPT,
Mm-hmm.
where I mean, where the what's the communication between the
Mm-hmm.
agents, AI agent, and let's say HR module
Got it.
in HCM?
Got it. So how it works, whenever I create an agent, first step is, okay, which LLM I want to communicate with. I will choose my model. I will choose the default model GPT mini. That is that OpenAI, Chat GPT, you just said. Or if you want to go other model, whatever I want it to, is the first step of creating the agent, number one. And then you create the prompts and all that, you do that. Now, the integration point here, okay, where it gone? 1 second. Let me refresh the page. The integration. Now your question, how the Oracle integrates with the LLM. Now, for that, I will run the agent once and I will show you how it will. Okay, another user has changed the primary key. Someone is working on this. Okay, fine. I will say, okay, show my current salary. Okay. Now, I gave a statement. That is when what happens. First thing, this, okay. So I will show you what is the process. Okay. Now, the first thing it will do a LLM call. See that step one. Okay, I'm going at the beginning. First is a context. What is a okay? Sorry. Step one, what is a context? As I said, context is whatever is the historical conversation or what are the reference material we are giving, we want to give to LLM to refer the data, or whatever the prompts we have defined, system prompts or summarization prompts or guardrails, whatever, everything will be part of this context. Okay, it's all there. That is fine. Once we have the context, the first call is the LLM, a API, a LLM API being called from Oracle automatically. It is a LLM call. Okay, this call will go. It is a message, input message to LLM. Hey LLM, it is the entire information, an API. See, it is the OCI agent 4.mini. We are going to call that to the LLM. LLM will execute that and gets the output here. It finds that, okay, the first output is master agent input will go here, and the output is, okay, you have to run the compensation advisory agent is the output for the first step. Okay, then it will go to the compensation advisory agent. There are many agents here. It will go to the compensation advisory agent here, and again it will go to the, for each tool it will go to, it will ask LLM. It will call to LLM what to do. LLM will execute that, and after this step LLM again execute next step, next step, next step. There are multiple LLM calls at every point basically. So for your question, Oracle will call the LLM APIs internally and get the information, and we go into these details little more in the next 1 or 2 sessions very soon. Does it answer your question, Olu?
Yeah. In a way. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Raj, want to go next?
Yes, Lakshmi. So, what I understood so far is this is kind of a platform where we'll be defining the context, formats, and everything. But when we are trying to access the data, is that be done either through that REST APIs, I mean, the tool what we call, right? Or it is directly connected to the database, Fusion database? Because in Fusion, it is not explicitly, they haven't given any access like we use the traditional on-prem systems, right? I mean, Oracle ERP. So here, by using reports, we will try to get the data. So here, is that the same way like we call from VBCS, like we'll call the REST APIs of Fusion and we'll get the data, something like that?
Yeah, everything through REST API only. It's not a direct access to the Fusion database. Correct.
Okay. Thanks.
Is there any agent which can write SQL query for me?
Not in this Fusion Agent Studio, but we have the other, not agent basically, but we have the, okay, for simple answer, there's no agent for Fusion Agent Studio do that work, actually, but the other ways to do that.
Yeah, chat GPT, all those things they write, but sometimes it is not correct. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Kiran?
Yeah. So you mentioned that agent can call tools, and tools are basically most only on the REST APIs, right? So is there any read timeout? How much is the timeout that agent would wait? Is there any timeout limit on this?
That's a good
Because
question.
you mentioned that I was having the question on the variables which you had mentioned, that once the tool responds, it automatically it can extract the values, right?
Correct.
And then pass it to the other tool, which you mentioned.
Correct.
So what is the read timeout?
Yeah, that's a configurable basically. And again, the timeout comes from 2 places. One, the API call itself. So when we call the cloud, Oracle Cloud API has its own time limit. And along with that, we can set the time limit in our agent configuration level too. I'll show that. So default 5 minutes maximum, where things will time out if it go beyond that.
Okay. And the second thing is like, can we call, let's say, I think since it's a tool, you can call REST API. So we can call OIC APIs as well, right?
We can do that. Yeah.
So
we can do OIC
if
API. We can use
if I
external
create a
APIs.
custom,
Okay,
external API. So if I create a custom workflow in API, in OIC, let's say I'll be passing. I think you've shown the get user session, right? So let's say I pass that user to the OPA REST service, and now when the task is created for that particular user, right? So how will this agent know whether the task is approved or rejected? Is there any way or?
That's part of the our flow. Example, let us say that step one, you wrote a get user session, get the person ID, call the OIC workflow, your workflow, and workflow get called, and some tasks get executed. And step three, read the task status. There should be another API for that reading its task status. And then if the
Okay,
task
so
status, yeah,
in return, I'll get the task. So first API can give me the task ID, and then I need to again query for the task status, right?
correct. It's an
So in
orchestration.
this, yeah, so the agent can wait, is it? Like how much? If
Yeah.
the
It can
task
wait.
there is in
It can
progress.
wait. It can wait. So for each API
So
call, as
I,
I said, each API call maximum 5 minutes. I will get the number to you. So yeah, each API call, it wait for that and then go to the next step.
so if the task is still in progress, and when I call the task as status, and if it's in progress, uh, then how matlab, will the agent again by itself checks whether the task is approved or rejected, or do I need to
It will
mention the
wait for
instruction?
yeah, I think it should all based on your example, you run an API. Mostly that should be a synchronous API, you know. If I think synchronous means it will respond something back, right? It should get some data
Yeah.
back to your LLM or your agent, right? Only then it go to the next step, basically, you know. And if it gets something back, it go to next step. By that time we have the response back from the previous call, right? Example,
Okay.
you didn't write integration synchronous thing one, you wrote asynchronous one. You call that, and it triggered, and your next step is being continued. In this next step, what I will do, maybe I will check for the status of the previous job, what had happened for that. Only go to next one if that job is complete. You know, it's all how you instruct your agent to behave. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Can the
So it
agent
can
by itself go for every 5 minutes? Can it go and check? Can we done? Can it be
You
done?
have to write that instruction here. LLM. You have to tell the LLM,
Sure.
keep checking for that. Only when the status get completed, and continue to the next one. You can tell to LLM. It's all like writing a code, right? Same thing LLM will do that for you
Mm.
internally. Write an algorithm for that, step by step instructions. Yeah.
So, do we have
Okay.
a user interface? Suppose if I want to approve I create some invoice
Mm-hmm.
and list the invoice and approve. Do we have a user interface with this embedded with this agents?
Yeah, that is where apps will come into picture. It was released this year,
Mm.
actually, where that's exactly what you are saying can be done. Actually, it will be
Okay.
kind of a page where that kind of actions can be performed. A page like this. See this? So
Mm.
agent will run, get some insights, and based on
Mhm.
the insights, it will tell you saying that, hey, there is some violation. Do you want to approve or reject?
Oh,
Something like
okay.
that. You know.
So we can design like this. Okay.
Yeah, we have an apps created for this year,
Mhm.
especially for the ask you were saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Prashant, you are in the top now.
Oh, Lakshmi, hey, hi everyone. So my question is a bit basic. Actually, I want to enable this code to PR chat assistant. So my question is, do we need to create that custom role, or if I have a role, can I not add that duty roles, AI agent duty roles?
If you okay, so you want to create a basically by default there are AI agent job roles which will
Uh
help
huh.
you get access to the agent studio and the access, and there is another HCM AI HCM agent role, AI SCM agent role, which will also give
Okay.
access to the respective agents that is there already, you know,
Okay.
in order to create anything separately. But if you want to create one role, that role should give access to HCM agents, finance agents, HCM agents. That's where you create a custom role, adding those three job roles to that and give access to the user and they can access all the HCM, finance, and HCM role. But again, for your question, if you want to access only SCM, we have a standard job role. Assign that, you will get access.
Okay. Okay. And I have already have an employee role, so I don't have to actually assign employee role to myself, right? If
If
I can,
you,
I mean,
Mhm.
I'll assign that seeded role as you said, right? And I already
Correct.
have an employee role.
Employee role won't bring that one by won't bring any of these by default unless example when I was creating example I mentioned that hey this role this agent should be accessible to the employee. If I say this, then you can access the agent. If you won't enable it as an administrator, you cannot see this agent basically. No?
Okay. And if I copy an agent, as you actually were showing to earlier to
Mm-hmm.
some any like
Mm-hmm.
one of the team members, I
Right.
will be able to we will be able to view those prompts, right?
Yes, we can do that. Absolutely.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, 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 fine.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Olu, a question again?
Can you talk about these roles like 10 minutes in another class?
Yeah. I'll be talking about it in very detail, basically. So probably next session is what I start with the security quickly,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that we'll all know how to access this in your instances.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Olu again.
Yeah.
You when you were answering, I can't remember the name of the person that asked you about PL SQL within the
Mm-hmm.
AI agent, and you said no. I
Yeah.
just want to ask, the the LLM nodes and the code node, are they not PLC call that the agent call?
Okay. So your question is, can PL/SQL call the AI agent? Is that your question or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because because I know the agent. There are some codes. Yeah, the LLM codes and
Mhm.
the code nodes. Are
Okay.
they not PLC code or
Okay. So
different?
from PL/SQL, can I call the AI LLM nodes or AM LLM APIs? Is that
Yes.
absolutely?
Yes.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's again, it's not a Fusion Agent Studio. Your question belong to that, and you are writing a PL/SQL code somewhere. From PL/SQL code, you need to call LLM. Every LLM has an API behind that. I can call that LLM API from PL/SQL. Maybe I can send my question to that LLM through LLM API, and it can send the response back. So that is absolutely possible. That's a common practice for custom solutions.
Okay. Okay. So you can only call that. All right.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay,
call the
I've been raising my hand. Hopefully, I get some
Oh,
opportunity.
oh yeah.
you talk?
One after the other is asking the questions. Anyways,
Okay.
so sorry that I butched in. Um, uh, in continuation to what Olu was asking, you have
Mm-hmm.
shown some flow where you make up you enter a prompt, and
Yeah.
that prompt is calling the LLMs and how the LLMs are getting called. I see LLM 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
something. So
Yeah.
how do you limit? So basically, it's iteratively LLM is calling itself to give you answers until it finds the answer. But at is there any? Where do you specify
Yeah.
that? Hey, you don't want to iterate it forever to get the answer, otherwise you'll get hung. Where do
Yeah.
we say that you only look for 5 such iterative calls or 10 iterative calls? Where
Here
do
you
you
go.
specify that?
Here you go.
Okay,
You
okay.
can sell that. So if you are doing recurring calls, stop it here. Don't do beyond that. I can set 10, or
Okay. Okay. And as far as the database people have been asking, I think, I heard, I'm not sure, that's why I wanted to give it. Oracle is coming up with AI data platform, which kind of is a cloud service that unites the enterprise data, it's like what I understood it
yeah,
was like a glorified SQL developer where you have your LLM and data, your enterprise app all in one.
yeah. I heard that too, actually. That's true. Yeah. Again, that will be going to OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. I was assuming that it should be additional licensing.
It's part of OCI, but that gives you access to your data,
everything,
your LLM, everything, all in one place.
Is it Oracle Analytics?
No, it's not analytics, but it's part of the OCI tool where it allows your data and your apps and whatever you have it on your infrastructure, right? All of them are put in one place.
That will be great. Yeah, if it comes,
It's the plan.
I have one more. Sorry, go ahead.
Now, already we have a platform where, like, how in on-prem system we can access the tables like that. Here they have Oracle Fusion Database, right? There is a platform, so where we can directly query like SQL for the Fusion tables instead of directly accessing using the PA reports. But not sure about which exact tool it is. But even I heard like there is a tool. Maybe they're enhancing that tool to include all these apps, LLMs.
That is called analytics.
Yeah.
I think that is Oracle Agentic Studio.
Agentic Studio. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And I have one question. This
Prashant has raised the hand. Prashant, you want to go first?
No. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yes. So I will come to you. Nanda has the next question, and then I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Nanda? Okay. Maybe it's accident. Yeah.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi, Lakshmi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
So can we target this being enable at least a small AI agent so that we will have a very good. We started attending the sessions. We enable. Actually, I try to enable a ledger agent today, but I stuck up with the prompts. I stuck up with the I'm not able to
make progress.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So any navigations?
Okay. So your question is in general how to enable any agent and start using it. Okay. I think that's our topic in the next session. So next session we're going to talk about the quick security and how we can. Security will tell you what we can access. After accessing it, I will tell you how to access the first agent and do that work. I will do that in the next session.
This week we can target like that so that we'll be happy. Okay, this week we learned this one.
Right. Yeah.
And also, can we enable? You were showing that Oracle chat, like a chatbot. Can we enable chatbot? Simple chatbots for a user?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. That's what I was telling the Redwood page customization, right? Whatever page you wanted to enable that, you can customize the page and embed this agent there.
Okay. If possible, once WhatsApp group created, maybe you can guide in offline. This is the to build this. This is the navigation. Give us some homework kind of thing so that we can try to do.
Sure. It will. Yeah, we can start that next session. And again, I think I was trying to do some homework for each of our topics. Even for today's topic also, I think I wrote some kind of information. Yeah, homework. Try that. Whatever that I was telling before, right? The context, grounding rules, summarization, examples. Try that at least for 10 minutes. That you can understand. But yeah, for real homework will typically begin from next session onwards.
Let me have one quick question. I want to share in the chat session. I want to send you a URL. And when you click that, can you click that if you have received it?
Yeah. It was created by another person.
Sorry. No. I think let me send you once again. I think it's not the right one.
Okay.
Sorry, I kept you waiting. Yeah, I think that was the one.
Okay.
So
yeah,
Lakshmi,
while
do we have full list of topics? What is covered somewhere?
okay, so let me get that full topics. 1 second.
I saw it in the website.
Yeah. I think that's the list I have given. Did you mention it here? No. 1 second. Yeah, let me get it. It's in my another laptop. I will send it once. Give me a few minutes. While before this session, I will share that to you.
can you? Okay, it's on the. All right, never mind.
Okay. Yeah. So next question.
Yeah, Lakshmi, if I create some custom agent, can I publish that as a REST API
Yeah.
so that I can call from somewhere
Yep.
else?
Yep.
Okay.
I think this question was someone asked that question before. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, next question. Okay, so yeah, if no questions, then people can drop. For the people who has open questions can stay on. I will
Yeah,
be
Lakshmi, sorry to interrupt you. So just I wanted to know, in a single agent, can we call multiple LLMs?
single API. Can we call multiple?
Single
Okay,
agent.
basically you are
Single
talking.
agent.
Okay, so now one agent is always for one LLM only. Okay, so yeah, it's always when we configure agent, you always define LLM, one LLM for one agent. It's always yeah. You cannot have
Okay.
multiple LLMs in one agent. That's not possible.
Okay.
So
Even
just
even if we create child agents, still we cannot call it,
Yeah,
right?
we cannot.
okay.
The LLM is at the is I mean the primary agent level, you know.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Lakshmi. So another just general question. So we may know when is the next session? Is it going to be tomorrow or the next
No,
week?
no. Next session will be next Tuesday, 7 a.m. IST.
Okay.
It's a sorry, Tuesday. Tuesday means yes, Tuesday, 7 a.m. IST, correct?
Okay. Yeah. Thank
I
you.
Is
think
it
we have been
still
told Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You are right. Yes.
But tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah, tomorrow is
Yeah,
September.
yeah. That's right. Tomorrow we are not having session. Yeah, something I need to inform. Yeah, tomorrow we are not having session. The next session will be directly on next Tuesday.
is it
Okay.
going to be 2 days in a week or 3 days in a week?
Sorry, Valu, come back on the
I
question again.
said the training class, is it going to be 2 days in a week or 3 days
3 days in a week. That is
three?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Indian Standard Time, 7 a.m.
All right.
Yeah, IST.
Okay, but tomorrow, Thursday, you are not available.
Correct. Tomorrow
Oh,
alone, we are not meeting, actually. That's true.
okay. All right then.
Meanwhile, can we get the access, Lakshmi, if possible?
Yeah. So I will get that access enable. I'll talk to Ravi and get it done. Okay. So someone has a question.
Lakshmi, I sent one image to Ravi so that he can share it with you. I can't put it on a chat window.
Sure.
This thing.
Yeah.
Can you pull up on the screen that way? I have a, this is what ultimately I wanted to. I'm my purpose of this training is at least understand to build something like that.
It is a link. I'm clicking on
No. Yeah, I think the link has an issue. I
Okay.
sent an image of that.
Okay.
To Ravi's,
Okay.
WhatsApp. I think if he's on this call, he can.
No, he is not here actually.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
do that.
If it is fine, could you please share it across everyone so that we can also get to know, I can also get to learn. If it is okay with you.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll put it on. I'll put
Thank
it
you.
on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's basically what this screen is it's a it gives you a financial close process, and it tells you for which period you're trying to do close the thing, and what are the tasks you're trying to do. It's kind of a dashboard that tells you what is a process that's going on. Okay, how many when you do a period close, there are certain activities that you try to do on a day plus zero is first day. What do you do day after the close cycle starts? What are the tasks each one has to do? And if there is any if there are certain tasks that people generally try to do, which creates a bottleneck for closing, or the closing process takes longer period of time. If there are any intercompany transactions which are on hold, which will say that, hey, basically it gives a prediction of you're trying to do these transactions, but this is going to create a bottleneck for your month end close. So that kind of prediction dashboard is what.
Got it. I
Is it
think
possible to do it?
Yeah, so I think if you're looking for a custom dashboard, definitely it become a custom solution. Not
Okay.
not even with agentic apps. Probably Pranay, we can talk. Can we you, me, and Ravi connect together on that so that
Sure.
we can brainstorm on that, because it's
Okay.
pure custom solution, not a Fusion agentic one. So
Okay.
we can
Yeah.
help you on
Okay.
that part. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Perfect.
Perfect.
But if it's a EBS for the same question, right? I mean, we have a command center ECC. So Oracle already on the shelf, they provided those dashboards. So once you go to the dashboard, it will show you like what are the issues with the period close or the quarter close, and then what is unaccounted, accounted. But they provided only with the Oracle EBS with, not with the Fusion, I believe.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure, Pranay, if you get chance to look at that what he's saying.
I didn't hear what he said. Can you repeat it?
So if it is Oracle EBS, and Oracle already provided enterprise command control ECC, so they already provided like dashboards. Like if you have any issues with the quarterly closing, or or monthly closing or yearly closing, it will show you on the screen itself. Okay, hey, this is what is happening with your period
Something
closing.
similar to that, but this is something. The intention of my thing is that it's purely for Fusion. Yeah, first thing. And it's general dashboard, and then it tries to give you per module which module is in the status of the module. Where is it in the close status, or is it ready for close, or are there any issues closing it? If there is an issue, it'll give you an action button where, or option that will say, if you click that, you'll get to know what are the bottlenecks. So this way, the period close can be monitored, and then the period close cycle can be squeezed to a certain 4 or 5 days. That way, you don't end up spending all your time trying to close, and the close takes 15 days, and the next month, but before you take breath, another close starts up. So generally, major big companies, they are in this vicious cycle of always in the close cycle. They take 15-20 days to do the closure. Before they take breath, another cycle will come by. And to reduce that and make sure that you do it in a week, you need to have some kind of a dashboard which tells you what are the transactions you are trying to do. Is it good? And then AI should predict, saying that, hey, things are going as per schedule, you can expect these things to create a problem, that kind of stuff.
Makes sense. Let's talk it offline, you two, me and Ravi.
Yeah.
I think we need detailed solution for that, so we'll help with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions? So someone is asking me the course content, so this is the one which we are trying to cover. So we have the AI foundation, which we are doing in the last 3.5 sessions. And we then jump into the Fusion Agent Studio, and we talk about the security and how to enable that Agent Studio. And then we talk about the foundations of Agent Studio. That is where basically the core components of it. That could be, as I said, agents, agent teams, tools, apps, all the foundations of the Agentic Studio. We do that. Then we go into sorry, there is a robot doing that. And then we go with the out-of-box Agent Studio, where we go through some top use cases across the modules, HCM, finance, and HCM, and see how the Agent Studio, how those out-of-box agents are being worked together. And then we start thinking about creating custom agent. That is where the building blocks of custom agents will come into picture. And within the custom agent, the different types of the supervisor agents and the workflow agents, we talk about that. Once that is done, then we introduce integrating with the external systems. That could be an OIC integrations, or that could be external integrations, external APIs, maybe ServiceNow or SAP or any other external available APIs, how we can call it from the Fusion Agent Studio. Then we can go with all the learnings. We typically go with some use cases, basically our custom use cases. We go with some custom use cases, spend around 3 to 4 use cases, and try to build them in our custom use case workshops. I was thinking in this place, when I talk about the external APIs or building custom agents, I will introduce one or 2 hours of the session on the APIs, what I'm talking about. There, it will be very helpful to the functional people. And then the last session could be the operations and governance and all that, which we will see how to evaluate the agent and how to monitor the agent and how to do the capstone the agent of our domain and all that. So it's a kind of topics what's in my mind as part of our course.
Would you like to share it in the chat, this PDF?
Okay. So let me see. I will share that in the chat. Yeah. Didn't Ravi share this one? I will make sure you get all this content.
This is in the website.
It's in the website too, right? Yeah, that's the content I shared with you.
Yeah, but it shows only the picture. Then when you click details, it will display.
I see. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, it's there too. Yeah. But anyways, I'll try to keep it here in the chart window. Yeah, I kept it here and check it out. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up the session today? Okay, if not, then yeah, we really had a good time this week. Let's gear up for the next week. Be prepared. From next week onwards, we'll have more hands-on sessions. Okay.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lakshmi.
Thank
So
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.